welcome back, guys. Hopefully you did well in that last little section. I want to apologize. I know that last video was a little long. Plan to make this one a little shorter, so hopefully we can flow through the day. All right, so we're on page 91 now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over question number 6. In reality, I'm not going over question 6. I'm going over the table from question 5. And if you get the table correct, then everything else should have been correct, okay? So what I did was I took table 5 from question 5, and I kind of listed it here. And then what I asked you to do is compare the slopes of the two lines and decide whether they parallel, perpendicular, or neither, all right? So we had AB and XT. Well, AB slope was 1/3, and XT slope was 1/3, and 1/3 equals 1/3, right? So the first ones would have been parallel. Okay? So hopefully we're good with that. Now, WG and TJ. Now, hold up. Pause. Let me back up. XT. I wrote this up so I'd remember it, and then I forgot, right? So we need to talk about a few things real quick. XT. X is on a fractional point. When you look at it, it's not a whole number intersection on the graph. So XT and YT are the same line. They're part of the same line, which means they're going to have the exact same slope. The slope is going to be consistent on any linear function, on any line. The slope is consistent through the whole line, okay? So that means that XT versus YT would theoretically generate the same slope, which means that instead of doing XT, I would suggest you do YT. Notice the X is kind of there in the middle. Is it 0.2, 0.5? I don't know. But if you go all the way over to Y, then you have whole numbers you can work with. So just to make your life easier idea, okay? Also, something I didn't talk about in the previous video that I want to make sure we're good on is vertical lines versus horizontal lines. Vertical lines being straight up and down, horizontal straight left and right, yeah? Slopes. Slope for horizontal lines pretty easy, it's 0. If you use the slope formula, you're going to get 0 over something, which reduces to just 0. Life is good. When you do a vertical line, you're going to get something over 0, which is not allowed. That is a mathematical no-no. There is nothing you can multiply 0 by to ever get something. Therefore, it is an undefined slope, okay? Now, here's the nice thing. If you get a vertical line, they ask you for slope. Slope's not defined, doesn't exist, whatever. Horizontal line, automatically slope is 0, and those are perpendicular to each other, okay? So that's just kind of something to keep in mind, maybe put in your notes. Now, back to what we were talking about. Over here, AB versus XT, again, 1/3 versus 1/3 parallel. WG versus TJ, both are -3/1. Notice I wrote it as a fraction. Yes, the slope is -3, and that's what it would reduce to, but I write it as a fraction to remind myself. And so that when I get down to the ones that are going to be perpendicular, it's easier to see. So these are going to be parallel. Hopefully you got that right. Parallel. Perpendicular, yeah. Notice the 1/3 versus the -3/1. So this is going to be perpendicular. 1/3 versus -3/1. So this one's perpendicular as well. Okay, they're negative reciprocals of each other. And then these are the interesting ones. These are the ones that are neither. Okay. Notice we have 1/3 versus 0. No real relationship there. And then -3 versus 0, no relationship there. So both of these would be neither. Again, if you did that chart correctly, then you should have gotten all the other questions right. And 6 was talking about the relationship, and we've kind of done that several times now, so hopefully that relationship makes sense to you. Again, perpendicular is negative reciprocal slope, and parallel is same slope. So hopefully you've got that. All right, so what I want you to do is take about the next 6-7 minutes. You're going to do numbers 10 through 14, and that'll finish up 8.1, and then we'll come back and look at 8.2. All right?